on my own. I was so confused. I was so much information, and I had all the books and I had all the this, but I needed that like focus and someone looking over me as well for accountability. That helps a lot. To be honest, at that point, all I cared about, the number one thing was weight loss. I was not comfortable in my body. I just wanted to like rip myself free. I was not happy with the way I looked. So weight loss was like the number one thing, and second to that was mindset. And then it switched later on. But I was just so desperate with the body situation. I was just not happy with the way clothes fit me, the whole superficial thing. Um, but I also knew that I was suffering mentally a lot from being obsessed with food. Like I was too obsessed with food, and I didn't want to be like addicted to food anymore. I wanted it to be like a natural thing, kind of like when I was a child. I explained that to you. I wanted it to be like that. I wanted my life to be about life, not about food.
Part two of my interview with my Slim on Starch client, Cristin. I know that so many of you have probably been waiting for this because part one, Cristin laid the foundation of what she was struggling with before we started working together. And I know that this spoke to so many people. Cristin was so vulnerable. If you haven't seen that video, it's linked in the down bar, so you can go ahead and understand where Cristin was coming from before we started working together. And in this part of the interview, we're gonna dig into the transformation that she went through. I think it's so important to share this because we'll see in part three of the interview that Cristin is living the best life right now, and she really has had such a glow up. But what you're gonna see in this video is that it was a little bit rough at the beginning, and what she experienced at the beginning was a necessary part of healing so that she could experience this tremendous outcome. Again, Cristin has gone from 134 to 109 pounds at 5'2", and this is just the beginning of the incredible life that she has created for herself and that she's going to be able to live through our work together. So let's go ahead and get into part two of the interview. If you haven't watched part one, then it's below, where Cristin talks about her background before we started working together. And now we're gonna get into what happened when we started working together. So let's get into it. And I forgot to introduce myself. I was so excited. Hi, I'm Emmie. I'm a nutritionist, the creator of the Slim on Starch program, an 8-week program where you and me work together alongside your nutrition coach and your mindset coach so that you can lose weight on a plant-based, starch-based diet. So click the link in the down bar to learn more about that, and also hit subscribe because I upload a new video every Wednesday and Saturday. And now let's get into part two of the interview.
Like when I was slim and dieting, I was slim and dieting because I was restricting. Like I was trying not to eat. I was just like, even if I was like really hungry and I felt like my stomach burning and stuff, I would just be like, oh, I'm just gonna distract myself. And I felt like dizzy and bad and cranky, but like I'm like, but if I eat, then I'm gonna gain weight, and it's just like it was a constant like struggle, and I never really felt like I could have enough energy if I wanted to look a certain way. Like I couldn't be happy and thin. Like I had to choose between like happiness and like looking the way I wanted to look. I couldn't have both, and I had to be obsessed with working out also on top of that, on top of being hungry and cranky. And then one day I exploded and I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And I told you about that. I got to in my 20s, I'm like, I can't live like this. I'm just gonna gain weight and I'm just gonna eat because I feel horrible. Like I feel miserable, even though I look okay in the mirror, but I feel miserable. So I'm gonna be happy and I'm gonna go on a mindset health journey. And I gain more weight, so much more weight. That's when I really gained weight a lot. Like I'd never been that weight before, 140 pounds. But I was not happy with the way I felt in my body. I could barely have any physical activity. I would be out of breath. I didn't feel strong. I didn't feel energetic. So I wasn't happy, and I didn't like the way I looked, to be honest. I didn't. I'd never been that way before. And and I started isolating myself. I started not talking to people. I was just in the house ordering food, eating by myself in the dark. It just got very weird. It became really like an addiction, like how addict is, how they isolate and they do like their drugs alone. I became like that, and very ashamed too, because I was ashamed because I knew it wasn't healthy, and I tried. I was just I hit rock bottom. That's what you can call rock bottom. And that's when I was looking on the internet, like how can you be vegan but like be healthy? Because this isn't, yeah, because I just wasn't healthy. And I looked, I bought many books, I looked up to many YouTube videos of different people, and then I found you towards the end, like, and I took action, and I'm so happy I did because I would have been eating like in the dark by myself right now if I had not done that. Because on my own, I was so confused. I was so much information, and I had all the books and I had all the this, but I needed that like focus and someone looking over me as well for accountability. That helps a lot.
All right. So then finally we meet. I remember our call so vividly because you were so ready. You were like, I'm so ready. I'm doing this. Like, this is happening. What were your goals? Because you were so clear on being, you're like, I'm done with this. We need to work together because this is where I want to go.
Okay, so yeah, I hit rock bottom. That helped me actually. It sounds weird, but it helped me to hit rock bottom, to hit that point where I was just like, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot do this. To be honest, at that point, all I cared about, the number one thing was weight loss. I was not comfortable in my body. I just wanted to like rip myself free. I was not happy with the way I looked. So weight loss was like the number one thing, and second to that was mindset. And then I switched later on. But I was just so desperate with the body situation. I was just not happy with the way clothes fit me, the whole superficial thing. Um, but I also knew that I was suffering mentally a lot from being obsessed with food. Like I was too obsessed with food, and I didn't want to be like addicted to food anymore. I wanted it to be like a natural thing, kind of like when I was a child. I explained that to you. I wanted it to be like that. I wanted my life to be about life, not about food. So
Mm.
that was my mental goal, and my physical goal. I wanted to be 114 pounds. When I said that to you, I'm like, whoa, I'm asking for too much. She must think I'm crazy. I said that to myself. She must think like I'm like crazy. 114 pounds. I was 114 pounds for 2 weeks when I was 16 years old, and I remember those 2 weeks because I was just so happy. And yeah, I gained it back. So yeah.
Mm. And I want us to talk about what happened at the beginning of your journey, because I think that's really, really important for people to hear what the first couple weeks were like.
Okay. Yeah, the first couple weeks, I went through this like uh how do you say, like when you're healing, um I went through this healing process in the beginning because it was very hard for me to stop the pleasure seeking that I was doing with the food. It was like an addiction, like I said to you. So when I couldn't run to my addiction, to my junk food, I was left with this like, well, what do I do with my emotions now? I didn't know how to meet my needs. I
Mm.
didn't know, and because I relied on that for so long. So that was kind of depressing, if I'm honest. But healing is not always fun. Like healing can be messy. That's okay. And so yeah, I went through this like healing process in the beginning. And my taste buds also readapted, but at first it was hard. And but it goes away. I want to tell people like, yes, that's super scary, but that doesn't, it's not forever. Especially if you're like me, that you're like really addicted to food and you think like, oh, I could never eat that healthy. No, it changes. It goes away. It's not like that forever. But for me in the beginning, yeah, it was hard emotionally, and my taste buds also had to adjust.
Mm. And what happened with your weight in the first couple weeks?
Oh my God. Well,
Really want to talk about this.
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, the first like 2 weeks, you know how like I'm so intense. I'm like so like I'm ready. I hit rock bottom. I want weight loss. That was the number one thing. And then the first week I gained 3 pounds. and I've never eaten that healthy in my whole entire life, like that week. So I was expecting to lose, a couple pounds that week because, my expectations were all over the place. I didn't know what to expect, but I was expecting weight loss, and I gained 3 pounds, and I was just like, um, I mean, you saw the video I showed on the Facebook group of that was the first week.
Yeah.
I was not happy. I was bloated, and I was just like, I was not happy, but I knew that I had to keep going, and I knew because you and my mindset coach, Kiki, she said to me, like, be patient. This is not going to last. This is just going to go up and then going to go down. But if it wasn't for that, that's why I said I could have never had success just on my own with no help. Because you know what I would have done at that point? I would have said, oh, see, I'm gaining weight. I'm just gonna go eat some chips and that's not how my brain works. I'm gonna go eat some chips. Are you serious? But yeah, I would have went and ordered some pizza or like some vegan pizza or something.
Yeah, and that's why I say you can't do this on your own, because it's like when you jump into a pool, if you're standing on the edge of the pool, to jump into the pool, you have to jump up before you dive into the pool. And that's the same thing that happens with your weight. It gets ready because it's about to drop, and it dropped with you. It
Like,
dropped.
like never in my life. Yes, like never in my life. And I never could have imagined that I would have had this level of success. Like it got to a point where I was just like, actually, I don't want to lose more weight. I never thought if I would have told myself that when, I mean, 114 pounds, I thought I was nuts. I was like, girl, like, okay, have big goals, dream big, dream big. But I didn't think I could actually get to 114 pounds. So yeah, I went up. My weight went up, but I was, it went down. So it's okay if anyone experiences like a little bit of weight gain in the beginning. That's normal. You explain it also. You explain it why that happens, and that helps a lot. So I kept going.
And I always say, don't worry. Please just trust me. We're going to take care of you. We're here for you. Please, 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 please just trust me. And you did. And that's why I love you so much, because you were like, you know what? I'm just going to do this because I've tried everything before. It was at this point, Cristin, you're like, what do I have to lose?
Nothing. I have to gain actually, because I was gaining weight more and more and more and more. And I was just like, well, this is it. I'm just going to give it my all, and whatever it's going to happen is going to happen, because I really have no place to go. That's why I said it's good that I hit rock bottom, because if not, maybe I would have been like, no, this doesn't work. I'm going to try something else. No, I had nothing else to try because I had already tried.
How excited are you for part 3? Part 3 will be coming out soon, and if you are watching this in the future, it might already be ready, in which case it's in the down bar. But I can't wait for part 3. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Woo!